Tonight on the WHAS 1119.
Say her name!
Her death sparked national outrage and was the catalyst for the Department of Justice report into Louisville Metro Police and Metro government. How the community is honoring Brianna Taylor on what would have been her 30th birthday.
She's still living. A piece of her is still living.
And it's been 7 years since Louisville lost the greatest of all time. What you can do this week to remember Muhammad Ali.
Heroes, true heroes, are few and far between.
Then, it's the 70th annual WHAS Crusade for Children, and we're keeping the marathon going. Your donations are crucial to helping kids with special needs in Kentuckiana. The WHAS 1119 starts now. Celebrating a milestone in the life of Brianna Taylor, one she will never live to see. Thanks for joining us on the WHAS 1119. I'm Bobby McSwine. Shawnee Park is just now clearing out after a day-long birthday celebration for Taylor, who would have turned 30 today. Connor Steffen is speaking with those remembering Taylor and her legacy, marking yet another birthday without her.
The grounds of Shawnee Park are full.
In the beginning of the year and when it's in, we will remember Brianna.
Yet still so empty today.
Happy birthday to her!
This is a celebration. This is a memorial. This is everything to give you the strength.
Another good thing about it is everybody's out here.
The dozens gathered here, family, friends, those who came to know Brianna Taylor after her death, are marking yet another birthday without her.
We still haven't gotten justice for Brianna Taylor, and we're still waiting for justice.
In March 2020, a Metro police officer shot and killed Taylor while LMPD executed a botched search warrant. She was just 26 years old at the time.
Brianna Taylor would have turned 30 years old today. It's a moment to celebrate, but also a milestone to mourn.
When you're dealing with a death as tragic as that one was, it's very undescribable.
It ain't about me. It ain't about Breeway Warriors. Man, it's about Brianna Taylor today.
And well gone, her name lives on.
Say her name!
A name now known across the world. In the wake of her killing, Brianna Taylor's name sparked national outrage and civil unrest, which would serve as a flashpoint in Louisville.
You know, the impact that Brianna Taylor has had on the city of Louisville is unimaginable.
While progress has been made, it's not lost on anyone here. It's slow moving too.
It had to have time. Everything that God does, it takes time.
And this celebration is a physical manifestation of that hope.
Yeah, the message is that this is one community, and both young and old need to work together to make sure that this is a peaceful community.
One fueled by an immense legacy, one we remember especially today. In Louisville, Connor Steffen, the WHAS 1119 on your side.
A man is dead after a shooting in Shively this afternoon. Shively police say they responded to the shooting just before 2:30 this afternoon on Ralph Avenue near Nevlet Avenue. When officers arrived, they found a 21-year-old who had been shot and killed. Police say a suspect at the scene was quickly placed in custody and they have been charged with murder. Police have made an arrest in a deadly Portland shooting back in April. Police arrested Ivan Calder in connection with a shooting on North 25th Street. Officers say just before 2:30 on April 18th, they found a woman inside a home there suffering from a gunshot wound. That woman was transported to the hospital where she died. According to court documents, witnesses say Calder was in a fight with the victim when he pulled out the gun and shot her. Calder has been charged with murder and possession of a firearm by a felon. Well, today, Congressman Morgan McGarvey hosted a town hall hearing people's ideas on how to prevent gun violence in the city. Today's town hall comes more than a month after 2 mass shootings rocked the metro. McGarvey has been an active proponent of gun reform since he took office in Washington. And today, he hoped to gain more perspective on what his constituents would like to see in Congress.
What I heard today is that there are people in our community who are still hurting from the mass shooting, who are still hurting from the everyday effects of gun violence. And I think, like me, are tired of the fact that we're not doing enough on a policy level that helps people out.
Now, McGarvey has been calling for a ban on assault weapons, red flag laws, and universal background checks. Well, Kentucky has made significant strides in keeping former prisoners out of jail and away from committing new crimes, according to a new report. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear announced that the state's repeat offender rate has dropped to a record low, just over 27%. Beshear touted the success of several initiatives for helping state inmates. They secured jobs and they have addiction treatment at record levels, which he credited for keeping more Kentuckians from returning to prison.
Remember, when we get somebody who is leaving prison in a stable position, in a good job with the services they need, maybe in treatment if they need it, they are less likely to reoffend, which makes our community safer. It means fewer crimes are happening than would otherwise be happening.
The governor touted a statewide project that offers no-cost transportation for former inmates so they can make it to things like addiction treatment and job interviews. And he praised a, quote, prison to work initiative announced last year that's aimed at helping line up jobs for inmates before they even leave custody. Well, the group in charge of distributing opioid settlement money announced their next steps this week. They plan on looking at new therapeutic treatment options for those affected by opioid use disorder. The Kentucky Opioid Abatement Advisory Commission proposed looking into treatments specifically to help reverse the chemical effects of opioids. That would include treatments to help with withdrawals.
It's that since 2019, we have lost 7,665 Kentuckians to overdose. That's more than 1/4 the population of Frankfort. We know that opioids typically account for 90% of these deaths. Now, statistics like these are hard to hear.
Existing addiction treatment models have modest success rates, but some existing treatments are subject to misuse or are too expensive for those suffering. 7 years ago today, the sports world in Louisville lost the greatest. Muhammad Ali died in his home in Scottsdale, Arizona, and is now buried right here at Cave Hill Cemetery. Today, admirers were invited to come out to his gravesite and remember one of the most significant sports figures in history. Given complimentary roses, guests could place them on his grave and honor the legacy he left behind.
I think it's important to celebrate because I think heroes, true heroes, are few and far between. So I think it's important for our kids, our grandchildren to understand exactly what Muhammad stood for. Here's a guy who took his platform and decided he was going to do good in the world. It wasn't all about athletics.
Well, celebrations of his life continue throughout this week with a packed schedule sponsored by the Ali Center. In an unprecedented move, Churchill Downs announced they would be following the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority's recommendation, suspending racing at the track beginning June 7th. Instead, Churchill Downs will be moving their operations to Ellis Park in Henderson, Kentucky. The move comes after a dozen horses died at the tracks since April. Churchill will run the races scheduled for this weekend, but Sunday they will be their final day, and racing will resume at Ellis Park starting next Saturday and run through the rest of the meet, which lasts until July 3rd. In a statement, Churchill Downs says the move comes out of an abundance of caution. Saying in part about the famed Louisville race surface, no single factor has been identified as a potential cause and no discernible pattern has been detected to link the fatalities at the track. Fans telling us they were shocked by the decision to move.
I think there could be other precautions taken, but I don't think they should take it away from this track.
Yeah, it's like a historic landmark.
I hate to see races go to another park. This is a special track.
However, fans say they will continue to support their favorite horses no matter where they race. Now, fans aren't the only ones shocked by this move. The Kentucky Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association, which represents owners and trainers, released this statement saying, horsemen question the purpose of this unprecedented step, especially without conclusive evidence that there is a problem with the racetrack at Churchill Downs. Drastic steps such as relocating an active race meet should only be considered when it is certain to make a difference. We are celebrating a giant milestone, 70 years of the WHAS Crusade for Children. The event sends your money to agencies that help special needs children right here in southern Indiana and all of Kentucky's 120 counties. This week, we've been giving you a look at how 100% of your donations go to making a difference. Tonight, you'll see how the purchase of a speech tablet, for instance, can be a crucial tool for enabling children to communicate with a parent or a teacher.
When you give to the kids, what does it buy? Your donation can gift a child with the ability to communicate.
Sweet. New. Scent. New scent.
This speech tablet helps a mom know what her child needs. A tablet like this is designed specifically to help children who have difficulty communicating. For example, autism can be a hurdle to speaking. For others, it could be Down syndrome or another diagnosis that makes communication more challenging. But this tablet speaks volumes for a child and all those in his or her life. For $800, another child with special needs can receive this gift of speech. You can be part of it. 4 $200 or 8 $100 donations, and another child has a speech tablet in hand. Go to WHAScrusade.org and click on Donate to make a secure online donation, or give with Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, Apple Pay, or use the Crusade's QR code to make a donation. In these uncertain times, there is one sure investment: children. And we promise 100% of your donation will go directly to services for children with special needs. 100%. Join us and make a difference for children with special needs.
Well, you just heard there's several ways you can donate to the Crusade for Children. Visit WHAScrusade.org or use any of the options you see on your screen. Remember, 100% of your donation goes directly to helping children with special needs here in Kentucky and Southern Indiana.